Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to make a video that I've been wanting to make for a while, but I just haven't gotten around to it. Part of the reason is because it's not that it's hard for me to talk about, but it just makes me cringe to talk about, which is my journey of pet care through the years. But I decided that I would share, even though it's going to paint me in a bad light for part of it, because I think it's really important to be able to learn from our mistakes and grow and do better. So that's the attitude I'm going to go into this video with. So I know that some of these things that I did were very cringeworthy, but the important thing is that I'm doing better now. So we're just gonna start with the small pets that I had since I was a child up to kind of the present day and the mistakes that I made, because there were many mistakes. And I have Celeste. Look at how cute she is. I got this amiibo from Five Below, but it doesn't actually connect to the Switch, but I don't even care because she's so cute. Okay, let's get into the video. So my first small pet that I can remember was when I was 5 probably. It was either for Christmas or my birthday, I don't remember, but my mom surprised me because I guess I really wanted a hamster. It was a tan Syrian hamster, I believe. I named him Peanut, and he literally died the next day. So then we got another hamster named Oreo, and it was a black and white Syrian hamster. And I really don't remember much about that at all. I'm sure he was in a critter trail, but I don't have any pictures of him. I think he lived a decently long time, but I don't know. And then after that, I got a fish. I got a ticket from a fair for a free goldfish. And so we went to the store and got a goldfish and put him in a bowl, and his name was Bubbles. And I mean, that's all that needs to be said. I got a goldfish and put him in a bowl. That was not very good. And after that, I got a betta fish, and I don't remember if I had one betta fish or two betta fish, but it was in a vase, and it did not live very long. So fast forward a couple years, I believe I was 7 when I had begged for a rabbit. And luckily we did get the rabbit from a rescue, which is better than getting it from a pet store. I think I have pictures of him. I'll try to insert them. His name was Midnight. He was lop-eared, he was black, and he had speckled white and black on his chest. But my care with Midnight was not the best because I did have him in a cage that was pretty small, and sometimes the cage was outside or in the garage. But I did try to take him out a lot, but he did bite some, probably because I wasn't very good at handling him. And I did not know when I was little that rabbits could be litter trained and stuff like that. So he was just in his cage, and I feel so bad about that now because he did not live very long. He lived maybe a year or two, which I thought that was just normal. I mean, I was devastated when he died, but I thought that's how long rabbits live, just like hamsters. But so I was saying, rabbits have long lifespans in captivity if they're properly cared for. They live more like a cat's lifespan, 10. I think they can live into the teens. So that was not normal for him to live such a short amount of time, though I don't know how old he was whenever we got him, since he was a rescue. But I did love him a lot, but his cage was just, I'll try to find a picture of it. I think I might have one picture of it maybe, but I did try to get him out a lot, and I would put a playpen in the yard and give him veggies and stuff like that. So next we are moving on a couple of years to when I was 10 or 11. I started begging for a hamster again. So I got a hamster for my birthday. We marched on down to PetSmart, and I picked out a black dwarf hamster. He's probably some type of hybrid. I remember I wanted a winter white, but honestly I don't remember if he was marketed as a Campbell's dwarf or a winter white, but I mean, we know that they're all mostly hybrids in the pet store anyways. But he was really cute, but he was kind of mean and nippy, mostly because I did not put in the work to tame him. I am going to insert a picture of the cage I put him in. cage, but I thought it was so cool. Like, that's just like the definition of how Critter Trail and Tiny Tales like literally advertises for kids, because I was like, this is awesome, like this is so cool, I want this cage. So obviously his wheel is not even a real wheel. It was not a good cage, the poor thing. And I would like wake him up a lot during the day, which you're not supposed to do, which is probably why he bit me. So I would wear gloves to hold him. I probably have a picture of me holding him with these gloves on, but he was so cute. I had like these orange Garfield gardening gloves, and I would hold him like that. So that wasn't good, but he lived like a normal lifespan, like a year or two. I think it was closer to 2 years if I remember correctly. But while I still had him, my friend, so I guess this was in 5th grade, my friend was moving away and she had 2 gerbils, and I really loved her gerbils. She lived down the street, and so I would like go play with her gerbils, and she was moving away, and so she asked if I would take her gerbils, and my mom said yes. So we took her gerbils, and they really took good care of their gerbils. I mean, now I know that like their environment was not proper for them, but they were happy and they were handled a lot, and you could tell they really cared about them. So I had her gerbils and I loved them. I'd never had gerbils before, and they were so much fun, very active and not nippy at all, and I would play with them in the bathtub a lot. They did give us like little hamster balls to put them in, and I did put them in the hamster balls. Now I know that that's not good, but they seemed to enjoy them, but they were probably stressed out. So their names were Cowboy and Astro. I didn't name them. I'll try to find pictures. Cowboy was like brown and white, and then Astro was like cream colored. And I want to say that Cowboy died first, but it's hard to remember. But I think they had like a normal lifespan. I played with them a lot. They would crawl up my shoulders, although their cage was too small. I did not know that. And it was a wired cage, which is not the best, but I think gerbils are a little bit better able to tolerate the wires than hamsters are. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe their feet are a little bit less sensitive, though it's still not good. So that was the gerbils. So after Smokey, did I not say my dwarf hamster's name? My dwarf hamster's name was Smokey. He was so cute. So after Smokey died, Cowboy and Astro died. I was like 12, 13. So I took a good break from having any small animals because I got a puppy when I was 11, who I still have, and she's still the light of my life. And so anyways, when I was like 15, I decided I wanted to get a fish again. So I got a betta fish. I got a little bowl and a light and a plant. His name was Jean Ralphio, and he did not live a very good life because he was in a tiny bowl. But I feel bad about, like, my fish care was probably the worst out of any of the animals. So after Jean Ralphio died, I was like, you know, I really want to have gerbils again. Like, that was so much fun, and I think it would be really cool to get them again. So I was like 17, probably 16, and like one day I was at school and I was like, I want to get gerbils. So I just started researching gerbils, spent the whole day reading about them, marched myself down to the library and got a book about gerbils, read it, and then I was like, okay, I'm ready to get gerbils. So I used the same cage that I used for the gerbils all those years ago. And it's like a preview cage. Hopefully I have showed it by this point, but it did not have a good wheel in there. But I bought a new wheel for these gerbils, I believe. And I went to a local pet store, which is still not the best, but I think it's better than going to Petco or PetSmart, because I don't think that all of these local stores source from the huge breeding mills. So anyways, I got 2 female gerbils. Their names were Sugar and Cinnamon, I think. I think at first I named them Sugar and Spice, but then I changed to Cinnamon. So I think they're similar colors to Cowboy and Astro, like a tan and white and then like a cream colored. So I was really excited. I think I have like 1 video of them. And it makes me cringe to think that I read that whole book about gerbils. I still have it. It's like from National Geographic, and nothing in that book warned me that what I was doing was not good, because it's not specific about like cage dimensions and really everything that they need. It's like very basic, like give them fresh water every day. If you put a boy and a girl together, they have babies. And I'm like, okay. So anyways, Cinnamon and Sugar lived for about 2 weeks. And then I woke up and they were both dead. And I was very sad and confused. And what I think happened, but I don't know, is my room used to be covered in tapestries like all over my walls. And I had them on the floor of my room next to this tapestry on the wall, and behind the tapestry I had like a Bath and Body Works scent plug-in, and it was right next to their cage, but I didn't see it because it was behind the tapestry, so I kind of just forgot about it. And I feel like that might have killed them because they both died at the same time. I felt like it was either that or some kind of illness that I just didn't know. But I was sad. So a couple months later, I decide, you know, I want to have a hamster again. And this is when it gets very cringeworthy, because I've said cringe so many times in this video. It gets very cringeworthy because, like, at this age, I should have known better. I should have done better research. But I didn't, and that's just how it is. So I decided I wanted a teddy bear hamster. I wanted to get a Syrian hamster. So I went to the local pet store, and I got a orange and white long-haired male Syrian hamster, and I named him Gus. And I put him in that same preview cage. So dumb. And I remember he used to climb up the cage and like walk upside down on the top wires, and I was like, oh my gosh, he's so funny, he has such a cute personality. Did not realize that that was like a stress behavior, which I feel like that should have been obvious to me, but apparently I just did not know. So he had a very small barred wheel. I doubt he could even use it. And honestly, I don't remember much about Gus, which is sad because it was not that long ago. It was like 4 years ago. And I just don't really remember that much. I have like one picture video of him, I think. And he did not live very long. He lived for a couple months and then he died, and I took a break from pets again. So now we're going to the up and up when I started doing a little bit better research, but it starts off poor again, so just prepare yourself. So when Gus was when I was still in high school. That was like the summer before my senior year. So I finished my senior year, and the next fall I was not in college yet, but I was working, and I was graduated from high school, and I kept going to Petco and seeing this hamster, and we had like kind of named this hamster Freckles, and we would always go and see it. And so one day we were like, let's get this hamster. So we go to Petco again, because I am just a person that loves going to pet stores and looking at animals. Even though now I don't buy animals from pet stores, I just like looking at them. So we go to get Freckles, and Freckles is gone. They didn't have any other hamsters that I thought were cute. And then I'm looking at the guinea pigs, and I was like, you know, I've never had a guinea pig before. Let's just get one. Just definition of impulse buy. So dumb. So I picked out a guinea pig from the little male guinea pig pen, and I got the basic guinea pig, KT guinea pig cage set up, got some hay, and the person told me, like, you know, they really need a friend. They're happier if they're with another guinea pig. And I remember she said, like, they need vitamin C. We give them bell peppers and oranges. And I was like, okay. But I didn't get him a friend. You'll see where this is going, because honestly, I don't think I could afford it. Which, if you can't afford everything you need for an animal, you should not get the animal. But anyways, I was like, you know, we'll just come back and get him a friend later. So I bring him home, named him Chester, and it was so sweet. I would let him roam around my room, and I don't know what it was this time having an animal that I started actually doing research. And so I think I was looking up, like, do they really need a friend? And I was looking up, like, what I can give them for vitamin C, because I remember the lady at Petco said, like, you know, they really need vitamin C. Which I think is good that she told me that, because I think most pet stores recommend that you put vitamin C in their water, which really isn't very good for them. So I looked it up and I started like giving them I started giving him more vegetables rich in vitamin C. So the next week we had another guinea pig we had our eye on from the last time. I think it was a long-haired, like black and white guinea pig. And we go to Petco and there are no guinea pigs. They're all gone. So I go to the local pet store and they did not have any guinea pigs, but they said they were getting a male guinea pig in shortly. So we like bought him in advance. So like a week later we go and pick him up. Oh my gosh. He is the sweetest thing ever. He was very young, like 4 weeks, and I named him Neville, and he was sold to me as a Texel guinea pig, but now I can see that he was not a Texel. I think he was a Teddy guinea pig, but he is like the most unique guinea pig I'd ever met. And he was so sweet and he was so vocal, and I would just hold him. I'm gonna try to find some pictures and videos. And we got him the same basic cage setup because I plan to put them like next to each other for a few weeks and then put them together. But as time went on, I realized that I was going to need a bigger cage to put both of them together. I couldn't put them both in one of these tiny cages. So I make plans to get a bigger cage. I was gonna get the Midwest cage, and a week passes and I wake up and Neville has passed away. And I was so devastated because I loved him so much. I had no idea what happened. And I went back to the local pet store and talked to them. I was like, I don't know what happened. And they were like, oh, we don't know. Could be anything, you know. Guinea pigs hide their illness as well. So they believe they reimbursed me with another guinea pig. So I had to wait a little bit longer, and then we went back and got our next baby, Leo, and he was so sweet and cute and small. And I believe he's a satin guinea pig, but he was also very young when we got him. So now I put him in the cage. So time passes and I noticed that Chester is really fat. He's getting very wide in the stomach area. So I'm like, am I giving him vegetables that are causing bloat, or what is happening? And I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna take them both to the vet. So I take them to the vet, and I kind of had this fear in the back of my mind, but I was like, no, that's not gonna happen. But it did happen. Chester is a girl, and Chester is pregnant with 3 babies. So my sweet baby Hazel, we renamed her to Hazel, was put in the male pen at Petco. So that's why she was pregnant. She was pregnant with 3 babies. And Leo was confirmed he was a boy, but they had not been living together, so it was okay. So eventually I had the Midwest cage ordered, and I put Hazel in the Midwest cage for her babies to come. And her babies come, and they did not survive. They were stillborn babies. I was crushed. I was just so sad. It was heartbreaking. I just felt like there was something I could have done, but there was nothing I could have done. And so my plan had been I was going to keep the females with Hazel and the males with Leo. But after that, Hazel was very sad. I could just tell a total change in her personality. I could just see it in her that she had been like suffering with this loss. So I was like, I need to get her some female friends ASAP. So I go back to the local pet store to get another female guinea pig, and there's 2 female guinea pigs, and I was like, I'm getting both of them. So I brought them home. I put them in the Midwest cage and put Hazel back in the small cage, and let that go for a couple of weeks, and then maybe like 2 weeks. At this point, Leo develops a cough, and I'm like hearing him, and I'm like, that sounds weird. I look it up, and it's like, I don't feel good about this. So I take him back to the vet. He has an upper respiratory infection, so he is on antibiotics and antiviral medication twice a day. He had to be quarantined in the other room, and that time was really hard for him, I think. He seemed very sad and afraid, but he took his medicine, he recovered, and things were good. So at this point, I'm like, okay, I need a bigger cage for all these animals. So I order a CNC cage for the girls, and it was a 2x4 grids, I want to say. Or was it 2x6? I don't know. It was like 17 square feet. And eventually I bonded Hazel with my other pigs. I forgot to say their names. Their names were Luna and Poppy. And Luna was a teddy guinea pig like Neville. And she is also very vocal. And Poppy was a little bit sassy. But they got along so wonderfully. It was amazing. They were just made for each other. So eventually I put the 3 girls in the Midwest cage, waiting for the CNC cage to come in. The CNC cage comes in. I put the 3 girls in the CNC cage, and I put Leo in the Midwest cage next to them. And even having him next to the girls, like, totally changed his personality. He started popcorning and squeaking, and so much happier than when he was in isolation, the poor thing. And he made a great recovery from his infection. So my plan at this point was to neuter Leo and put him in with the girls, so I was saving up for that. And right as things are getting settled, boom, your girl's pregnant. Me, not one of the guinea pigs. So I had to make the very difficult decision to rehome my guinea pigs. And I was devastated. I've said that so many times in this video, but I was, because I had complications in my pregnancy and I couldn't work and I could not afford the guinea pigs. Plus, like, apparently it's not safe to clean out their cages when you're pregnant, because there's like some kind of infection you can get, just like you can't do cat litter boxes whenever you're pregnant. So I had to rehome them. I'm not going to talk about that in detail because it's very hard for me to talk about. But basically, that is the story of my pet care from a little child to now. And I don't know why it took me so freaking long to start doing my research about animals, but we're here now. We're good. I'm gonna make another video very soon about our current guinea pigs, as well as touring our pet room that is home to 4 hamsters and 2 guinea pigs, and we are having lots of fun with that. So be on the lookout for that video. I hope you enjoyed this. Hopefully it wasn't too long, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye.